for a living. And I'm delivering to this camp called Camp Lohica. It's up in, you know where that's at? Oh, good for you. Good for you. All right, yeah. So I'm delivering to this camp, and I get to the camp. It's a real nice camp. They got water slides, you know that. They got jet skis, paddle boat, you know, horseback riding, the whole 9 yards. Real nice camp. And as I'm delivering the camp, I notice as I'm driving through, it's like a sea of these little white kids. It's like 400, 500 white kids. It's awesome, right? And out of all these little kids, as I'm getting out of my van to go deliver the package to the office, this one little black kid, I see him. He comes running up to me, and I'm like, man, what does he want, you know? So he gets to me, I take a knee, and I'm like, what's up, buddy? And he's like, he looks at me and he says, can you take me home? And I'm like, you know, I'm thinking in my mind, like, man, this must be his first clan meeting too, you know? You know what I'm saying? So I gave him all the advice I could give him, you know? Because I'm like, man, listen, if it gets too tough out here for you, you know, just pull out your dick, you'll have the biggest one here, you know what I mean? I mean, what else could I tell him? You know, I don't know the way to the Underground Railroad. I don't. How else could I get him out of there? Something about the North Star, all that, I don't know. You know what I mean? Another thing, I delivered to a Jewish camp, which was weird, very weird. I get to the Jewish camp, everything's in Hebrew. I don't read Hebrew because I'm black. Not because I'm not Jewish, it's because I'm black. Yeah. So, I can't read any of the signs, so I'm looking around looking for somebody to take this package from me, you know? So I finally find a guy, and I get to the guy and I'm like, hey, you know, why is your camp in such poor conditions? Because the camp was really run down. And he's like, you know, this isn't a camp for playing. I'm like, well, what kind of camp? You know, you got kids, there's no playing? He's like, yeah, this is a camp for prayer. I'm like, all right. So I'm thinking in my mind, like, well, the last time this many Jewish people met at camp, that shit did not turn out too good. It just didn't work. You know what I mean? Yeah. My jokes are wrong. I don't care. I say what I want. Yeah, all right. Thank you. You guys, anybody beat the heat last week? The heat was really hot last week, right? Right? Yeah. It was so hot on Friday, I got in my car, could have sworn I seen the devil doing the Dougie on my dashboard. It was like, teach me how to play, teach me, you know? Everybody loved it. Shit. I mean, really, seriously, I haven't seen the heat this bad since the NBA Finals. Yeah. Shout out to LeBron. Shout out to LeBron and Dwayne Wade. Yeah. Those are some cool guys. Yeah, that's all good. A couple things I want to touch tonight. Anybody hit the recession? Did it hit anybody personally? No? Anybody broke in here like me? Raise your hand. Make some noise. All right. Woo! All right. That's pretty funny. White people don't be broke. Right? Right? Isn't your broke different from my broke? Isn't it? Like, even though you're broke, like, don't you still have, like, credit? Or is the recession that bad? Well, that's what I thought. But, okay, sweet. What are you at, 420? $3. I will not be getting shots from her. No, but you know what I really knew when the recession hit? This is how I really knew when it hit me. When black people stopped naming their kids after expensive-ass cars. Like Mercedes and Alexis, shit like that. And they started naming them after feelings and emotions. You know, shit that's free. Calling their kids like Desire and Temptation. You know what I mean? I was at a fucking cookout. And the next thing I thought, I was at a fucking Luke strip joint. You know what I mean? You know, meet my cousin, are you hired? Why don't you go play with Broke as Hell? Has anyone seen me cash now? No? Yeah, it's anybody watch that show, Beat Car? Anybody see that? Beat Car is a show where they get the cops, they set up a sting, you know, they leave the car, Cadillac Escalade, something real fancy. They leave the keys in it in neighborhoods like Compton, you know what I mean? And I think personally that's real fucked up because, you know, I'm a black guy. If you leave the fucking Escalade in my neighborhood with the keys in, I'm gonna take it too. You know what I mean? Right? So, you know, the guys get in the car, you know, they steal it, they get in, they're driving, you're looking around, the camera show what they're doing. They're like, oh yeah, son, we got the car, we good. And the cops are like, all right, shut it down, shut it down, shut it down. So then, you know, the door's locked, they can't get out. And then they fucking roll up on a guy. And don't they have the dumbest answers for why they stole the car? You know? He's like, well, why'd you steal the car? No, officer, I was taking it to the police station. Really? You know? You weren't taking shit nowhere. You were going to fucking Jose's to chop that motherfucker up. You know what I mean? Like, isn't that, like, isn't Bait Car, like, isn't that like fucking, the concept of that show, isn't that like taking a fat kid to a, like, an all-you-can-eat buffet? You know what I mean? Like, isn't that like some form of entrapment? You know? You get the fat kid, he's coming up to the ribs. There he is. He's moving in. Shut it down, shut it down. You know, you get to the ribs and the fucking glass closes. I mean, how fucked up is that, you know? It's just wrong, man. It's wrong. Who was here last week? Who was here? Make some noise if you were here last week. So my people that were here last week, you got a chance. I did a bit about going to church. I took you to a Baptist church. You guys like that one? Huh? No, I just did, last week I took off my hat, I did an offering, a love offering. Because a lot of preachers, they do all these offerings at these Baptist churches, and you really don't know what they're needing the money for. You know what I mean? But I did last week, I did a bit about needing the money for a haircut. And I just wanted to show you that God has been good to me. Can I get amen? Amen. Yes, Jesus is still in the miracle business. You know what's funny? Anybody ever been down on your luck? Right? You get a friend, he's like, oh man, don't worry about it. Jesus is gonna do good things for you. I'm gonna pray for you, God's got your back. And that same guy is like unemployed, you know? He's got no fucking car. He's broke, you know what I mean? And my thing is like, call me when Jesus answers your prayer. You know? Don't be trying to call me, telling me what God wants for me. Let me know when he comes to you. You know? Amen to that. I'm gonna need the white people in the back to be a little bit, sir. Oh wait, hold on, let me try something else. Boss, you don't mind being quiet, do you? I don't want no trouble. No trouble. Yeah, you know what? Comedy isn't right. And I'm definitely not right when I do comedy. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I'll say whatever the fuck I want to say. I'll say the shit you all scared to say. You know what I mean? As Bernie Mac would say, I don't give a fuck. Shit. I ain't scared of you motherfuckers. He would have said it. God rest his soul. Anybody like Facebook? Everybody got Facebook? Woo! Big round of applause for Facebook. Woo! Facebook, yeah. A buddy of mine, it's a true story, named Tyrone. He's a gangbanger. Straight up. Raw, gritty. This guy's got guns, he's killed people. He's got Facebook now, right? So on his Facebook, he's got all these pictures of cash, a lot of money. He's popping bottles with bitches and hoes. You know what I'm saying? showing them doing drive-bys, shit like that, you know what I mean? But what's funny is I get a fucking post in the news feed and it's got the high score on Farmville. And I'm like, how gangster is that? You know what I mean? Like, what are you doing, drive-bys on cows? I mean, where's your street cred now, Tyrone? You know? Yeah, there you go. He's selling it on my field. He's growing weed on the farm and selling it on my field. Get his points up. That's funny. I don't know what I'm not going to stay up here too long. I'll leave you with this. One thing about black people, I'll tell you this real quick. We never like to go anywhere without eating. Before I got here, I ate. I'm sure the lone brother back there, he ate before he got here. Good for him. Even before I go to barbecue, I'll eat. Seriously. But I was thinking, like, what if you died and went to heaven and didn't eat? You know what I mean? Like, how messed up is that? You know? I can picture me in heaven and I'm just walking around hungry. I see Moses over there in the corner. I'm like, hey, say Moses, does Jesus still do that fish fry thing? Moses is like, only on the 1st to the 15th. You know? You gotta eat, man. But I'm EJ Nonstop, that's my time. I won't stay there. Woo!